Raise your hand if you've ever been catcalled. This includes name-calling, vulgar gestures, whistling, honking, grabbing, stalking, leering, any of it and all of it. Keep your hands up, please. Look around. It's heartbreaking that even one of us had raised our hands. Look around again. Probably all females raising their hands, right? Of all ages, of all identity backgrounds. Catcalling, also known as street harassment, is defined by sexual commentary and gestures made at women passing by. In other terms, catcalling is sexual harassment. I can remember being catcalled as early as the age 10. I can remember being in the car with my mom and the guy in the car next to us kept looking over at me and making kissing faces and licking his lips. I can remember going downtown AnnArbor with a group of girlfriends and a passing car starting to slow down and roll down their window, proceeding to ask us where we were going and that pretty girls shouldn't walk alone and that we needed to smile. I can remember going to the mall by myself and a guy starting to follow me and then started to walk next to me and push for a flirtatious conversation that I so obviously was uninterested in. I still get catcalled and street harassed. Unfortunately, nothing has changed. I get tense whether I'm alone or even with a group of girlfriends. I get tense in parking structures, downtown, the mall, gas stations, public transportation stops, and sometimes even my own neighborhood when I'm walking my dog. I've become accustomed to being alert of everyone around me at all times and emergency places I might be able to hide in and, always just preparing what could happen just in case. Speaking from personal experience, a lot of emotions arise when a woman is catcalled. Annoyance, for sure, followed by anger and disgust, but more than ever, feelings of being threatened, anxious, scared, and even embarrassed. It's so easy to fall into the mindset that it's your fault for being the victim or to contemplate how you should have reacted. And the gross thing about it all is that I'm not the only one who has experienced this sexual harassment, nor are those in this audience who had raised their hands. Stop Street Harassment Campaign, a nonprofit campaign advocating to end these issues, conducted a survey in 2015 among 16,000 women, asking them about their experiences with sexual harassment. Of the 16,000, here were the statistics. So every form of catcalling, from grabbing to honking to whistling, was experienced with over 1/4 of the women. Furthermore, this same survey found that 84% of women have had their first encounters with sexual harassment before the age of 17, where the average age range was found to be as old as 17 and as young as 11. I'd like to take this time to make also a quick disclaimer and say that women are not the only ones who could be sexually harassed, as this does happen with men as well. However, I'm gearing the statistics and my talk more towards women since it does happen more frequently with that demographic. However, with that being said, please still take the time to digest this information and really debrief of how gross it all is. When we hear the terms sexual assault or sexual harassment, the words street harassment and or catcalling never really seem to come up. I can safely say that catcalling is the most overlooked form of sexual harassment there is. Whether it be the name calling or the vulgar gestures or the whistling or whatever it may be, as a society, we need to come together to acknowledge these small passing forms of catcalling for what it really is: sexual harassment. And I know I keep repeating that phrase, but I really want to make that connection within your heads between the actions and what it really is. Catcalling devalues women into sexual objects. Moreover, it's the sexualization of young women especially. Instead of treating these stranger women like one would their own female family member, anyone else they respect, a catcaller diminishes the value and respect of the woman and reduces her to a sexualized, degraded, and disposable object. Despite how awful all this really is, catcalling is so common and accepted. It happens too often and too openly, and no one is talking about it. But I mean, what results are the perpetrators actually expecting from this? What are us women supposed to do? If we give them the middle finger, then we're giving them what they wanted, AKA a reaction. If we cuss them out, then we risk them getting aggressive with us back. If we give in to what they want, then who knows what will happen next? So, what results can I propose to you and to everyone today to put an end to this sexual harassment? First and foremost is education and general awareness. I know it sounds cliche, but I think a main proprietor of what leads to the common and widespread acceptance and occurrences of sexual harassment is that no one is even really told what that means. Whether it be a parent-to-child talk, boy or girl, daughter or son, no matter what age, or whether it be a part of our health class curriculum starting from an earlier age, not just a brief unit in our high school life, or whether it be a social media campaign, we need to educate one another about what sexual harassment is, what it consists of, how we could address it, and how to stop it. And this solution and issue is more prevalent than ever. Look at the #MeToo movement, for instance, where so many women are coming out and sharing their experiences with sexual assault and harassment in order to educate and alert the rest of the world of just how serious and just how common this issue is. Now, as for those who are being catcalled, this is what Stop Street Harassment campaign advises. 1, assess your safety. Every situation is different and requires a different response. 2, use strong body language. Show assertiveness and strength. Also, project confidence and patience, even if you don't feel that way. Try to stay calm. Importantly, don't apologize, don't make an excuse, don't ask a question. What you feel and what you want is valid. And lastly, don't respond to diversions, threats, questions, blaming, guilt tripping, any of that. Stay on your own agenda, stick to your point, repeat your statement, and leave. Now, as for those who are a witness to someone being sexually harassed, intervening directly or intervening on delay is both beneficial to the victim and the situation. An example of intervening directly can mean you jumping in and saying, knock that off, or leave her alone. It's as simple as that. An example of intervening on delay can mean you asking the victim afterwards if they feel safe and okay. It doesn't matter where you are or if you knew the person or not, you need to help somehow. With that being said, whether or not you have experienced this firsthand, or you know of someone who has, or you never even knew any of this before this TED Talk, please remember 2 things. 1, remind yourself who's to blame. Them, not you. You are the victim, they're the perpetrator. It is their job to feel guilty and not yours. Stay safe, stay aware, educate others, and remember who you are. 2, you are not alone. Although it's very unfortunate that so many women across the globe encounter these scary experiences, know that you have allies everywhere. Find a support system that you feel comfortable talking to with after the fact, and share your experience. If we band together in our pain, we will only get stronger from here and end sexual harassment together. Thank you.